Hello, this is Daryl at 10-Foot Truck, Good Attitude Services. I hope my phone is positioned correctly. This is for David out there in Tennessee. He was always complaining about my phone being positioned, not having the widescreen. Well, so I'm testing out. This is a different phone I'm using. So it looks like it might be better. Anyway, what I want to talk about is I went to the dump yesterday and emptied out the full truck. I had about, it wasn't even maybe, let's see, it was heavy stuff, so I think it was about 2 to 3 feet of truck. I have a 10-foot truck, so it was about a fourth load. But here's the thing. Sometimes the heavy, that's why you got to be careful when you're quoting the jobs, because even though it could be a fourth load, it may be very heavy. The weight may be heavier than normal. So what I end up with 480 pounds of cargo that I unloaded of junk. So it's 480 and it was only a fourth of the truck. So can you imagine if the full truck was loaded with that kind of material, 1,000, be a ton or whatever. It'd be for say 500, it'd be a ton. So if I had a ton in this truck, and I've had that before when I did construction removals, and it was fairly expensive to pay at the, I kind of undercharged. I should have charged a little bit more because of the weight, but I learned my lesson on that one. This one, it was actually turned out pretty good. It was, even though it was 480 pounds, and like I said, it was only like about a quarter of the truck. I had to charge the customer a little bit more because when I brought the items in here, they were taking so much room. I had to break it down and make it short, make it more condensed. So I did that later, so that was my time instead of the weight. So it only cost me, I don't know what it costs in your area, but in my area, for 480 pounds weight of junk materials, it was $28.44. So that sounds, it's pretty good actually, because I charged, that was for two removals that were combined into one. The one removal I charged the guy $170, and then the other removal I charged, I think it was $53. It was just one item. Usually with one item I'll charge $50. That was on I think that was on an app. So it depends on, that's what I want when I do one item. I'm trying to charge, right now I'm giving a deal, it's like $50 for like a washer or a dryer. Maybe not a refrigerator. Refrigerator would probably be 80. And then the lumber or the wood that I had to remove, even though it was only a quarter load, when I moved it in here, it actually took up a lot more room because I had to break it down. So I just said it's a half load. It was a quarter load. My full loads are 350. This truck here it's a box truck, small box truck. It's very small. It's almost like it's basically like a cargo van, but it's taller. See, I'm 5'11", so this is about 6'2" or whatever. So it's a little bit bigger than a cargo van. So it's not quite as big. It's not quite as much room as like one of those 1-800 junk. Maybe it's a little bit smaller than that. I don't know. Maybe the same. I'm not sure. I think it's about 14 cubic yards. But the thing is, you got the roll-up door. So usually I just say about 12, because when you're stacking, it depends on how it's stacked. Sometimes you can't get the full load. There's no way. It's not like loading a dump truck. So I'm doing a full load at 350. That may be here. I think it's fine in the area I'm at. Some people, they like to charge 400. I don't know what other people charge. But if it's like construction material and it's really heavy, like if this was a full load of that stuff there that I loaded of wood, I would have to charge 500 because that would be so much weight. And that's the mistake I made before, was that I calculated, I went to a construction removal and I looked at it and I looked at the piles, and I'm pretty new at this, so I'm getting better at the weights at looking at it now the more you do it. And I'm like, yeah, that's a full load. So I gave him a little bit of discount on that because I was just trying to get work at the time. I don't even think I charged him like 300. I don't know if it was even less than that. And then when I went and paid for the dump fees, it was like it really cut into what I made. And then I realized because of the weight, it was extremely heavy stuff. So when you're dealing with construction materials, you got to be careful. A lot of it's super heavy if you're doing tile, glass. I had big pieces of glass and that, or really thick pieces of like compressed plywood, sheeting type plywood. It's very heavy. So now when I look at that, I go, yeah, that's exactly what I said. I learned from that last job. So when he showed me the materials that were going in, I said that's going to be more because of the weight. It may not fill half the truck up, but it's heavier. So like I said here, 480 pounds. If you were to do that 4 times, you know, you're talking almost a ton, you know, material. And I really think a full load, because I've done full loads, which is like cardboard and house materials. And I've charged even under 300, 350, I did 300 because it's just cardboard, light stuff. So you really have to calculate the weights in there too, not just the volume. You also have to figure out the weight, how easy it's going to be, how, you know, if you're going to be able to recycle it. If it's cardboard, you can recycle most of it. You know, all that comes into play when you're working with customers, and so that you're giving the customer a fair price, but you're also getting, you know, good pay, because you don't want to lose out. And I've lost out many times. I'm just learning right now. It's kind of a new business for me, because before I was just doing pickup delivery, and now I'm learning all this. I'm watching videos on how they charge. I might not be charging enough, maybe. I mean, let me know in the comment section what do you think. If I have 14, well, okay, this is about not even 400 cubic feet. So it's about 6'2", but I say 6 because of the door. 6'2", but when you're at the door, it's your head's sticking up here, the roll-up door. So you're loading that stuff, you can only load up to the roll-up door. You can't go all the way over that, or it won't shut. So I have that. So I just say 6 by 6 by 10, and it's not quite 10. It's like it's an inch because of the door. So I guess if you did the formula, maybe it's like 14 cubic feet. But I give it a little bit less because of the doors, because of the roll-up door. It makes it harder to load. You can't say full cubic feet. So I'm just going to go 12 cubic feet, which is about, how many washers? I know washers about a cubic feet. I mean, not a cubic feet, sorry, cubic yard. 12 cubic yards. Technically, it's a little more than that, but I just go with the 12 cubic yards. Maybe 380 cubic feet, I think. So I've seen people that charge per cubic yard. I'm just going to kind of calculate in here and say, okay, I could put like 12 washers in here stacked up or whatever. And then depending on the weight. So it's like, you're not going to load like 12 cubic yards of brick and expect, I mean, first of all, I wouldn't do that. I've loaded brick in here, and this doesn't have the dually wheels and all that. And the axle wouldn't be able to handle it. You can load a ton in, you can load over a ton in here, but I don't like to. I've loaded this thing up. I think I put like, probably close to, a ton and a half in here and throw around. Plus I had a car towing on the back, which was about 5,000 pounds. You can tow about 6,000 pounds on this, and then you can load this with a ton, and you can tow in the back if you want to tow a dump trailer. I don't do that. I just load this up. So yeah, so anyway, I don't know what the prices are in your area. Here, 480 pounds of material cost me $28.44. Not too bad. So in the end, I think I ended up with $195 after both loads, which may not be, it's a start out price. I mean, of course, like the more I get to know this, I probably have to start charging a little bit more than that. It's just a way to start generating stuff. I know people say, well, you don't want to go so low, and I'm not sure if I'm going. Maybe someone out there can tell me, because when I look at 350 a load, it seems fair to me. But like I said, depending on the weight. But there's so many. I mean, I don't even know what. I haven't really looked into all the factors of what people are charging here on a normal day, or as far as junk removal. I haven't done that yet, so that's why I'm doing this video, just to see if anyone out there, knows a little bit more about what the pricing should be as I do these type of jobs. Anyway, enough of that. 10foottruck.com, Good Attitude Services, signing out.